Let's talk about the early stages though. When you first started and you decided to take this a little bit more serious and everything else, what did your first setup look like? Did you start with 6 rack, one little rack, on a table? What was that setup?
My setup was very simple. I was ill when I first quit.
Yeah.
Keep bringing that up, but I was. So we just went to, a warehouse, one of those club warehouse stores, and bought a wire rack. I literally bought a couple of grow lights, probably just two, not even enough to do the whole rack.
Yeah.
And I think in total 20 trays from Bootstrap Farmer, 10 slotted, 10 solid bottoms, and literally one bag of dirt. I think I asked for Mother's Day that year for 1 pound seed packets of seeds from True Leaf Market.
Nice.
So I started out bare bones, like so simple,
Yeah.
as little as I could possibly need. I wasn't totally new to growing things, since I like to garden.
Yes. You already have a little bit of a green thumb, right?
I do, but I want to just throw that out right away. You could have the blackest of thumbs and still be a phenomenal microgreen grower. It's really not that hard. Even if you think you can't, you can.
And this isn't a crop you're waiting 4 months to figure out if you did grew it right, right? Most of them are 10 days. You didn't grow right. You throw it out, get what you can off of it. You start over and figure out what you did wrong. You make adjustments and you can go through 4 growth cycles in a month. You're going to have it down.
Yes, absolutely. That is awesome. That just like you said, it's not like you're growing giant heads of cabbage where it's
Yeah.
a 3 or 4 month grow and then you have some weird insect come in and take it off or something like that. That's the benefits of growing indoor
Yes.
also, and that you don't have those pest pressures, thank goodness. So
Awesome. Was there any challenges that came about that you can go back on that you had?
my biggest challenge is my geographic area. The humidity is truly my nemesis. I've always heard in business that you should invest in your weaknesses. And that is something I definitely invested in it was probably my first big, or I considered big, investment for the growth of my crops to turn out even better. The dehumidifier, it was just a night and day difference.
Yeah.
It really made a big difference for me and my stuff, definitely.
Um, was there any points in that initial beginning, or heck, even now you might have as well, any points that you like want to give up and you wanted to give up or anything like that? Like, oh, this isn't going to work or anything like that?
On the business as a whole,
Yeah, we all have them moments, right?
I'm not gonna fib and say that arugula hasn't given me some moments where I was like, "Do I really wanna be doing this? Do I really wanna be doing this?" And some people would probably say that maybe washing trays makes them feel that way, but no, arugula has been my lowest
Nemesis.
point. I had a situation where I was trying out using different amounts of soil in my trays, and I doubled the amount of soil so that I could have a higher yield, which was great. But I didn't account for my soil being really good at retaining moisture. So I accidentally overwatered that time and I had I couldn't just like throw out the arugula and try again. I had several orders from chefs and a caterer specifically for that arugula. I had to hand sort through those trays for the little dampened off guy. So that was definitely a low point.
Yeah. But you got enough for the chefs and everything was good for them?
Yes,
And they know
got
you?
some extra to sell. So
There you go.
all turned out great in the end. But did it actually cause me to ever I've never had a I want to quit yet. No,
Okay, good.
not for me.
Well, we used to call arugula arugula until we figured out how to grow it well. And we even teach it in our coaching group. We did a grow along series on how to grow arugula and did it 2 different ways and show every people how to do it because I know that's a crop that everybody hates. And that's the reason why our hates has problems with it, I should say. And that's why we also do grow along series all the time in that coaching group. So just want to let you guys know that. What was your first sales like and how did it make you feel afterwards?
My first sale was actually to a caterer, and they approached me. That was super awesome and made me feel really, really good. It was a little bit of a warm lead, I guess, just because I didn't know this lady that bought them the caterer. I didn't know her, but she knew the lady that I had given samples to. And, they had talks amongst themselves. Very sweet lady, like I said, she decided that she was gonna kind of take me under her wing, and, so she was my first account, which was just so exciting. It truly was. I look forward to those situations all the time. If I don't mind saying so, I actually closed another restaurant account a couple days
That's
ago, and
awesome.
all through the power of sampling. People will buy what they try. I know that with restaurants, it can be a little bit different depending on the type of restaurant and what that restaurant's niche is, if microgreens will fit their menu. It's actually really fun for me. I'm a weirdo. I actually enjoy sales. I have that never met a stranger type personality. I just love to talk to people and get to know people. Honestly, I feel I'm not trying to brag about my microgreens because I'm buying the same seeds that everyone else is, but I I love it to get that feedback from the chefs in the kitchen to where they're like, "Oh, wow, yours are so much better than the ones I was getting from this distributor," just because it really speaks volumes how fresh the product is coming from their hometown than
Mhm.
through a distributor necessarily. I love getting that feedback. It makes me happy. I feel like the product sells itself. I don't really have to do a lot of salesy things. I don't wanna tell anybody that you need to be a people person or a salesy person because it doesn't. I literally walk in and I'm like, "Where's Chef?" I don't know who Chef is 100% of the time, but I say, "Where's the chef?" If somebody spots me first, I'm saying, "Hi." And they will go, "Oh." And then I just go talk to them. And it's awesome and amazing what 3 different types of microgreens and a fresh sheet will do and following up in a week. It's not rocket science. It really isn't.
Isn't it as easy as she's making it sound, guys? It does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of coaching to get there and understand what it is. But yeah, it becomes easy when you come second natural. And if you're a natural born
I
salesman,
will say that we have people who are in our group who are not salesy people or come from a sales background, never have proclaimed themselves as being the never known a stranger type, and they're rocking it with the chefs too. So it's not just me. It can be your turn.
yes, for sure. What do you think has been your most effective strategy of getting new customers? And I think you touched on it a little bit by just going in and talking to the chef, but is there anything else that you have?
Well, there's fun little event that I go to once a month called Vegan Night. It's interesting because if you're a people watcher, it's interesting to watch how people go cookies and treats and cupcakes. And I have cookies and bread and treats. And then there's somebody else across the way who is selling homemade vegan breads and those little protein bite things, that you can buy. So there's all these yummy little sweet things around everywhere. And
Mm.
I'm selling vegetables. I'm selling the opposite end of the spectrum, right? I'm selling vegetables, something healthy. So I just am so grateful for my spot. At least I get to be in between the cookies and the bread. The thing that I think has really helped me level up in that situation is sampling, you guys. Again, people buy what they try. And just having people noticing me there, even if they're just walking from one sweet table, I can be like, "Hey, have you ever tried microgreens before?" And if they answer and they say no and they keep walking, then that's it. But if they go, "Oh, no, I haven't," I'm like, ask them, what are you a spicy food person or do you like, not spicy food? And then they answer that question and I start naming which ones I have off the table because I use live displays, which ones are the ones that are spicier and which ones are not. And then I'd start handing out samples. And the next thing I know, they're buying stuff from me too. So I would say that has really helped, not just with the chefs, anywhere you're trying to get people who are already
Mhm.
making food, you want to give them a sample so they can see how it's going to incorporate into their menu or maybe a special they're going to try. Of course, when you're selling direct to a consumer, you've got to appeal to their taste buds. The only way you're going to do it is by having them taste it.
Sampling is huge. If you can go to events like the vegan night that you go to or at farmers market, if you can get people to eat it and taste it, that is the best marketing you could ever not pay for. It's a little bit of product. We really not paying for it, right? The best marketing is to get it in their mouth. Great job on doing the sampling. We try to sample at every event that we can. We still go to grocery stores and sample there that we're already in. And you find new people. You get the kids and you make sure they have a sunflower, right? Because then they're going to be like, oh, that's awesome. And the parents are going to start buying them sunflower microgreens. They'll be like, oh, they don't like green. Well, now they do. So don't hesitate. Don't discount the kids. Make sure they get something and give them a sunflower. That's the best thing to give them.
Since you bring that up, the past 2 times, because vegan night's only once a month for me. The past 2 times I've had 2 separate times where the little kid, probably 7 and under, just walk up to my table and they're like, "I wanna try some." And I'm like, "Okay." I swear I'm always telling my partner when the little kids come up to the table, I'm just like, "Here, take all my samples. Please eat healthy food."
If we can turn it around and have kids eating this stuff when they're young, it can change a lot of people's health.
Change the world.
Yes. We'll start with health and then we'll go for the world, right? Let's go ahead. Yeah. So,
Health is your wealth.
well, that is true. And you can eat your medicine too.